I believe my exact words were, "He could not electrify a fish tank if he threw a toaster into it." This column angered a member of the Herald's editorial board. The editorial board is a group of newspaper employees who go into a room every single day and form strong opinions. The rest of us employees do not know how they do this. We suspect a magic 8-ball is involved. He was a serious journalist, and he wrote a serious memo to our executive editor objecting to my coverage of the primary campaign. The memo said, "When we treat so prominently such serious business as if it were pratfall comedy, I believe that we demean our reputation as a serious newspaper. I seriously believe that such treatment reassures the public that cynicism about politics is smart." Well, heaven forbid that we journalists should make the public cynical about politics. But having covered 5 presidential campaigns, I frankly do not know what you could write about our political process that would make it appear any stupider than it actually is. Of course, when we think about the words stupid and politics together, we naturally think about the 2000 presidential elections, especially the role played by my state, Florida. Motto, Florida. You can't spell it without duh. We'll begin this book with some columns I wrote during that hideous period when the entire world was waiting to find out who the next U.S. president would be, while haggard Florida election officials squinted at Chads and squadrons of lawyers dropped from the sky. Tragically, most of them were wearing parachutes. What follows is a series of columns I wrote for the Herald about that election. The first one, which appeared the day after Election Day, was an analysis of the election results. The joke was supposed to be that I wrote this analysis without knowing who the winner was. Little did I realize that this would still be a mystery weeks after the column appeared. That column is followed by some more about the election mess, followed by one on the inauguration of George W. Bush, an event that gave a new definition, specifically not fun, to the word fun. A wacky path for politics. Memo. Election 2000. Before I analyze the presidential election, I want to make a statement on behalf of South Florida to the state and local candidates who ran all those TV ads, especially Elaine Bloom, Clay Shaw, Bill McCullum, and Bill Nelson. We hope that you and all your media advisors rot in campaign hell, okay? We hope that demons tape your eyelids open and force you to watch your own TV commercials. We hope that every 1,000 years the demons hold an election to decide which one of you should be allowed to leave campaign hell, and the winner is always none of the above. There, I feel better. Now, let's analyze the presidential election. As you can imagine, I was up all night scrutinizing the returns. Note to editor. The truth is I'm writing this while the polls are still open. I don't plan to watch the returns. I plan to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer and be asleep by 9:15 p.m., so I need some help finishing this analysis. The key to presidential elections is the Electoral College, an institution created by the Founding Fathers so that Tim Russert would have something to talk about. Under this system, each state receives a certain number of electoral votes based on how stupid the state's motto is. Thus, New York, motto, "Driver carries no cash," has 33 electoral votes, whereas North Dakota, motto, "Coming soon, plumbing," has none. This system can produce some quirky results. In 1884, the Electoral College declared that Grover Cleveland was the winner, even though it turned out that there was no such person. Later, the Electoral College got a bee in its bonnet and elected Franklin D. Roosevelt president 27 times in a row. Still later, it elected Richard M. Nixon, despite abundant documented evidence that he was Richard M. Nixon. So the Electoral College may seem to be a wacky way to elect a president, but it's better than any other system on Earth, except for the system we use to fill every other.